So I would like to present more likely on what is actually Productivity 1010. Before I proceed to the definition and what is the project is all about, I would like to share on what is actually MPC are doing, because some of you maybe do not know what actually we MPC are currently embarked on. So our MPC vision is to be a leading organization in productivity enhancement for global competitiveness and also innovation. And our mission is to deliver high impact services toward achieving performance excellence through innovation for the betterment of life. So basically the MPC aim to look at the productivity improvement at every angle of the nation, sectoral, and as well as the enterprise level. So MPC have been given the mandate by our prime ministers in leading the productivity movement in Malaysia. So for that one, we have introduced one Malaysian productivity blueprint in order to address challenges impeding productivity growth of the nation, and also at the sectoral and enterprise level. So among the challenges for the productivity, why our productivity is not going further? Because we are having the challenges in terms of the talent, technology, in terms of the incentive structures, business environment, and also the productivity mindsets. That's why under this Malaysia Productivity Blueprint, they have established about 5 pillars on 5 thrusts on how to increase the productivity. Among the thrusts is the talent. We want to build up the workforce, and also especially for the future workforce. And then the secondly, we want to address the challenges on the technology. We want to drive digitalizations and also the innovation throughout nationwide. And also we want to look into the incentive structure, all the incentive related to the industry. We want to address it and then to link it up with the productivity. If the government give the incentive to the companies, we want to see the impact, how it can improve the company's productivity and also the performance. For that one, MPC also look at the business environment, because the enabler in order to improve the businesses, in order to reduce the burdensome of the businesses, we, the government, also have to look into the regulatory constraint that burdensome to the industries. Then the most important things is about productivity mindset. So we need to embedded the productivity as at the top of the mindset among the our rakyat or for the industries as well. So this is about what actually we are doing right now. And then this Productivity 1010 are focusing more on the technology per se. So in driving digitalization and innovation. So we would like to introduce one product. We name it as Productivity 1010. So 1010 is referred to the binary, referred to the digital. So we want to improve the productivity of the enterprise using the productivity. So not using the digitals, yeah. So productivity through digitization. So this initiative is to assist businesses in the manufacturing sector to develop their digitization blueprint. So our objective, we have two objectives. We are provided self-check, diagnostics tools in order to give the industry to self-check their readiness in terms of digitization. So we also provide one of the mentoring program in assisting the companies to prioritize the focus area and establish their individual company digitization roadmap, or we call it blueprint, using the prioritization metric tools. These tools have been developed by the industry experts. So because the industry is no better what the industry needs and also the requirement. So we focus in assisting, and all the mentors that we have are from the industry itself. So we target our this program is targeted to the business owner, CEO in the manufacturing sector only. We target about 1,000 companies, regardless all sizes. And also, we need to establish as well more than 20 industry experts to be mentor. Currently, we have about 20 industry experts to assist us in this program. So, HRDC is one of our partners, together with the MISI, Malaysian System Integrator Industry 4.0, as well as Malaysia Automation and Technology Association, really supported in our program. So most of the mentors are come from these three institutions. So the output, we would like to have at the end of the day, we want to, each of the company would like to develop have a company digitization blueprint in order for them to start the journey for digitalization. So next. Basically, this is the digitization journey that we offer. One, we have to check our health first in terms of health. What is our company readiness in terms of the digitizations? And then after that, we will coach and do the gap analysis for the company. Where are the gap on the digitization area that should be improved? So after that, with the prioritization matrix, we will go for the prioritization matrix. We look into the 4 elements of 4 element. Later, I will discuss it later. And also, after we complete the productivity digitization blueprint, so the company can start the implementation, how they want to start their journey. So actually, in order to develop such a tool, diagnostic tool, we did the cross-reference. These tools are very simple. We have about 15 questions in order to assess the level of your digitization. We benchmark with the TUV, SUD, and also with VDMA from Germany. And also we look in benchmark with the Singapore assessment, digitization assessment as well, and also the University of Warwick from the UK. So without left the most important our policy with the industry forward, we also benchmark with this one. So from this one, we come out with our own self-diagnostic tools, which encompass about 3 main areas, similar with the RA assessment. We have we look into the technology, process, and also the organization. But this is the simplified version. Yeah, is because in order to give the companies opportunity to explore their readiness, we think that it is important to develop the such simple tools that can be accessed anytime and anywhere. So the assessment also will focus on the 8 focus area. We look into the question. This is about the question. So on the question, we give a weightage in order to develop the score for the companies. So in terms of the process, the encompass about 3 focus area: operations, supply chain, and also the products. So we give the weightage about 30%, technology 50%, and also the organization 20% scoring. So at the end of the day, when you have submitted, fill up the assessment, you can get the score, what is actually your company is fall into. So the score is if you have a 40% or below, you are at the beginner, and then even for the 20%, you are observer. Most of the company, we tackle all the score. If you are below 20%, we also encourage you to participate in our mentoring program as well. So this is what actually the spider web will look like if you fill in the questionnaire, 15 questionnaire. So the spider web will give the some of the summary of your performance in terms of operation, where we are in terms of product, supply chain, intelligence, connectivity, and also the development. From this one, the mentor, afterward, if you want to engage with the mentoring session, they will use this one as a guide in order to assist you in developing your productivity blueprint. So actually, why we impose this program? Because we know all of you are aware on how productivity, digital will improve your productivity and also your performance in terms of profit and so forth. But most of the companies don't know how to. The implementation wise is very um, sometimes the terminology, uh, how to start how to start the digitization. Most of the company are don't not not know how to start. So this is the important step we want to offer to the companies. So this is actually about the digitization virtual mentoring program. So we actually provide the online mentoring session with one mentor and also 5 company per session. So we encourage a group of discussion, and then we also have one-to-one discussion. So we combine both grouping and also one-to-one approach. So more or less, we will look into under the prioritization and also the mentoring, we look into 5 activities. First activities where we will look into the reality checks. So we will study, we will assess the level of strategy your companies, and also this adaptation level based on the digitalization result you have submitted. So these activities will take about 2 hours. And then we also look at the return of investment. The mentor will assist you on how to calculate your own return of investment in order to embark in this digitization project. So under the ROI, so they look into the manpower reduction, they look into throughput improvement, they look into the program quality improvement, utilities cost reduction, as well as inventory cost reduction. This about we will take about 1 hour session mentoring. So we also do the review KPI in terms of efficiency, quality and assurance, and also speed and flexibility. This will take about 1.4 hours per session. And then we will do as well, do the reference of the best practice. We try to come across several best practices where the companies can benchmark each other. So we offer 1 hour private coaching session. This because some of the information regarding to the some confidential data and so forth. So we allow the private coaching session. So altogether, we provide about 6 hours sessions to the companies virtually. So this is not strict 6 hours. Maybe according to your time as well as the mentor time, they will give a schedule afterwards if you want to participate in this program. So after going through the 4R, actually the mentors will produce this kind of matrix. So under this is a summary of the metric if this from their punya mentoring session. So under that one, they can highlight which area actually need to for your company to focus on. For example, we will highlight the highest score in order for you to look into. So in this prioritization matrix is really look on the organizations in terms of the talent development that is received the very high score, and as well as products of lifetime. Maybe the mentor afterward will recommend you on what of types of digitization project ataupun improvement you can start with. Okay, next. Why there are sekejap, hang, my computer is not responding. Afterward, I will share the process, the overall process actually, where you can start to enroll our Productivity 1010 projects. Okay. So where we are. So she stopped sharing. Okay, I will share it again. Oh, because my laptop before this has having some problem, so let's me check it again. Only a few slides to complete my presentation. Okay, I think this one. Okay, this is actually what is the process of the process flow of the Productivity 1010.
Hi, sorry, Dr. Marlina. I don't think you're
Yeah,
sharing your screen.
you can't see?
No, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, now you can see. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, this is the, I try to make it a slide view. If not, I can still use this view, right? Because I afraid that they this file is corrupt, will be corrupted. So actually, this is the overall process flow. So once you start your SES diagnostic, so you can then you will get the result, and then after that, if you do want to proceed with our virtual mentorings, this is just good for you, for your company to know where you are in terms of digitization, and then if you want to proceed, you will proceed with our mentoring program, and then at the end, the expected output that we can offer to you is the digitization blueprint. So in terms of that, if you get the digitizer blueprint, actually this is a plan how your companies can embark and start with the digitization journey. So if you want to proceed with the RA, it's better still because you have already have a basics on that one. But if you want to engage with our consultants, with our mentor, because the mentor, most of the mentor are the system integrator, so you can afterwards we can do the coordination for you, and also we can try to assist you on how you can get the loan from the banks and also from the other agencies, ya, from the other financial agencies ataupun other grants institutions. So in the gray area ni, if you can see the gray area, maybe this one we also can link it up you with the training, such as like what the HRDC can offer in terms of developing your manpower and your workforce. So how to register? So like I said previously in the flow, process flow, step one is by checking if your business is ready. You have to scan this QR code. So upon you scan this QR code, they will pop up the 15 questions on the diagnostic, yeah, diagnostic to assess your readiness. So after you complete the diagnostic assessment, after you complete the assessment, in the screen there will have a button if you want to engage with us with the mentoring session. You just click yes, and
Hi. All right. So I think Dr. Mazlina is having some technical difficulties. So while we wait for her to join us in again,
Oh,
will Dr. Mazlina? Okay, you're
yeah.
back. Okay, you were
Okay.
stuck just now. That's fine.
Yeah, I tengok pun I stuck. So everything, is it what message that I have put in already? They can see the message, my contact numbers, and so forth.
The one previously, yes.
Okay, thanks. Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mazlina. Now, I'd like to call our second speaker. I'd just like to remind everyone that we, at the end of the session, will be launching a short poll, and we would really appreciate your feedback. And now, moving on to the second half of our session today, Dr. Chua Wen-Chen, who is currently the head of Malaysian Smart Factory 4.0 under Selangor Human Resource Development Center. He obtained his PhD in Control Systems Engineering and Bachelor of Engineering in Mechatronics Engineering from Monash University. His key area of expertise lies mainly in the area of control and automation systems, fault detection and identification, and predictive maintenance strategies, which are widely used in Industry 4.0 applications. He was recently appointed by the Malaysia Productivity Corporation in collaboration with MEPN as one of the mentors or advisors for the Productivity 1010 initiative. As the head of Malaysia Smart Factory 4.0, Dr. Chua and his team are focused on delivering high impact talent development programs to accelerate the growth of local talents who would be the workforce supporting the growth of Industry 4.0. The programs developed by his team at the Malaysian Smart Factory 4.0 are also able to support the industries and community towards achieving sustainable digital transformation through talent development strategies. I'd now like to call Dr. Chua.
Okay, hi. Thank you very much, Eza, and thank you, Dr. Mazina, for the very good presentation and overview on the Productivity 1010 initiatives. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining the webinar session today organized by SHRDC in collaboration with MPC for us to really share regarding this very good initiative called Productivity 1010. And in a way, we believe that this will be a good tool for many industries to really understand which are the areas of prioritization that you can undertake first towards your digital transformation journey. And what I will share with you today would be generally an overview of a digital transformation journey, what is capable to achieve once you achieve digital transformation. And of course, from the Productivity 1010, if you wish to embark upon this journey, what are the next steps that you can do to plan your digital blueprint or digital roadmap towards what we call a sustainable digital transformation. So this is an overview of my session today. I'll mainly share about the importance of digital transformation and talk about developing your digital transformation roadmap. I think that's very important as digital transformation is not just plug and play. It's really about the journey towards Industry 4.0. And then, of course, at the end to share more about what are the strategies that are available to really support sustainable digital transformation through talent development. So as we all know, digital transformation pretty much is a journey towards Industry 4.0. And this journey of productivity, it spans across a number of years. It's not just, okay, today I want to digitize my entire factory and within a week, it's sort of up and running already. So this is a journey towards, a lot of continuous improvement, a lot of plans towards adjustments, because every industry has a unique method of operations, and you have your own internal methodologies or even your key parameters that you observe daily to support productivity and what works best for you. So the key strength of digital transformation or Industry 4.0 lies mainly in this area of mass customization. And we do understand from a lot of conversations from industries that, to stay competitive, many industries have gone into the route of, uniquely made for you kind of products, mass customizations, specialized products for certain industries in which, because they are niche, they actually get more traction, right? They get more profitability. So but how to maintain, maintain your cost, or reduce your cost while maintaining a good profit margin, by doing mass customization. And this is really the key strength of Industry 4.0 today, and how digital transformation can really support you in that. So, the whole digital transformation journey, it's really about reducing and optimizing cost of manufacturing, right? If you talk about Industry 4.0, all the technologies out there are meant to provide you with this particular notion of insight, right? And, by having insight, meaning to say that when something happens, at a very straightforward point that you have visibility over your operations. And that gives you a lot of time savings, right? Let's say, for example, your machine is down, you know it directly straight to your mobile phone or even to your email that, okay, my machine is down, I need to do something now, rather than, waiting for, somebody to notice it, send a WhatsApp message, and then you get it. So all those kind of things are insight latency. And then the next thing, you talk about analysis latency, right? The time delays reference to analysis. So when something happens, you need time to identify what went wrong, where went wrong. Those are time losses, in a manufacturing process. But what if data can already tell you, okay, for example, this particular signal corresponds to this particular root cause, right? Then you can make decisions very, very quickly, reducing that time latency, and you can take action almost immediately because you have, the right spare parts, you have everything in your inventory. So you have all this data and information right at your fingertips. And that's the key strength of digital transformation. It's reducing time to save costs, right? So what is it about digital transformation that really helps industry, to grow? And this is about sustainable and scalable technologies where you have control and visibility over your operations. Like for example, you look at the dashboard like this, what do you see directly? When your machine is running, if your machine is idle, you know your cycle time for the machine. You can remotely access it. You can trigger a start and stop. You can, mass customize, the products remotely. All these things can be done without you even being in the factory, for example. And all these are capable when you have, sustainable and scalable kind of technologies. You have digital transformation put in place in your factory. You have a lot of scalability and flexibility towards your operations that you're doing. And then, of course, what is the key strength later? To get data, to understand and calculate your productivity over time, right? So when you get information from your system, when your machines are down, when your machine is underperforming, you know that you have quality issues, and what are the quality issues corresponding to? Is it raw materials? Is it operator dependent? Is it machine dependent? All these things are information and valuable information that you can extract from your production line, from your machines, to calculate overall equipment effectiveness. And all these things are done, automatically, right? You don't need to go and write down every half an hour or 1 hour. Okay, what's the OEE now? Somebody carrying a stopwatch to go and calculate the performance. That's all not needed because it's all automatically calculated for you. So you save time, you save manpower, and you get to reduce a lot of cost savings in between. And by giving you a lot of visibility and insight towards your operations, you get to make better decisions. You get to take proper actions to really keep up to the production, to really optimize it, and to really overperform. So then, when you talk about scalability, right? It's not just manufacturing lines anymore. People talk about cost savings in terms of, manufacturing temperature, temperature, humidity in the environment, because it affects your raw materials, perhaps, or it affects your machine operations. Some machines, they if it's too humid, it affects the overall performance over time. The wear and tear gets worse over time. Then you talk about energy management, energy consumption per machines. All these things are information and valuable information that you can have to get more visibility towards your operations. And this is really, really talking about flexibility in how you access this information, just at your fingertips. You can just log in a website. You can see all this from your seat at home. Now it's a CMCO throughout many of the states. And what if you have this visibility? Won't you be able to actually explore more options to optimize sort of your production kind of strategies, day by day, and just by being at home as well? So then when we talk about the entire data collection, the entire analytics of your machines, what you want to achieve eventually, you want to optimize further. You want to make sure that you have real visibility about what's the behavior of your machines, whether your machine is going to break down eventually, all these things we talk about predictive analytics. So if you can see a video here, what's it doing? At the bottom graph, it's actually forecasting what's the next step or what's the next possible operations of your particular motor, right? So, and if there's a drift in your motor operations due to wear and tear, you can actually see that, the forecast graph and the actual graph actually starts to deviate from each other. And when you see that, you know that you need to apply certain mitigation strategies, corrective actions. You need to start preparing your spare parts. All these things saves you time. And this kind of time-saving costs will eventually bring a lot of benefit because you have better visibility over your entire operations and you know exactly what to do next. So all these things actually help you eventually to save a lot of costs. It gives you a lot of confidence in your manufacturing operations, and it will definitely make you a bit more competitive with regards to the other industries within your same sector. So then how do we develop a digital transformation roadmap? Like what I showed you just now, it's a lot of things that we have developed on ourselves, on our side. And how do we then achieve a good digital transformation roadmap so that you can take it step by step and slowly improve your operations over time? So remember that digital transformation is not a plug and play directly. It's a journey towards Industry 4.0. So then Dr. Mazina shared about Productivity1010, right? It's productivity through digitization. And this initiative generally helps a lot of industries to have a self-diagnosis, a tool that they can just key in where they are at the moment based on where they think they are, right? It comes out with a result, then you know at which level you are, whether you're a learner, you are an observer, or even an expert level. But you see, all these things should not, make you feel intimidated, right? It's okay if you are at an observer or a learner level because we are all going through this journey together, right? This tool is meant to assist companies to understand where are the priority areas, right? And from your priority areas, you establish your roadmap, and then, you can understand where to tackle first, which one matters to you more. And then when you identify that, you eventually bring more value or you have better value creation towards your ROI, right? So just as what Dr. Mazina has shared, we have self-diagnostics. We, SHRDC, are appointed as mentors as well. So we can provide the coaching, identify your gap analysis, help you with your prioritization matrix, which is what she shared earlier. And of course, implementation strategies, which is your digital blueprint and etc. So what does Productivity1010 cover? Generally, if it talks about organization, process, and technology, it really drills down to more components, right, of the entire digitalization journey. So under organization, you talk about also talent development, strategy, digitization, leadership, and then, under process, you talk about vertical integration, product lifecycle, real-time integration. So there are more components of the diagnostic tools that will cover throughout the entire coaching session, right? And that's where it will help you to really drill down to your operations, as a business owner, to understand which are the areas that matter most to you. And then you can then make the right decisions to prioritize where you should go first. So, understanding digital transformation value creation is what we aim to achieve through the Productivity1010, right? What is your ROI and what is the value creation from remote monitoring or predictive maintenance or automation in quality analytics, resource management, made to order kind of systems, process automation. What are the value creation that you have against your ROI, and then you can understand which area to actually prioritize first, and then you can move faster in that space. So this is the assessment matrix that Dr. Mazina has shared earlier. So it's quite a comprehensive tool to actually identify where are your prioritization areas. It has an equation, which is what we call as impact value, which calculates the weightage of KPI, P&L, proximity, and prioritization factor. So this gives you an idea where you should focus on first, right? And in this chart, let's say it talks about talent development. It means that throughout all your, your KPI, your P&L is quite related towards the talent side, right? So you should prioritize on the talent, and then you should put in the right strategies to develop your people, hire the right people, and then move forward, right? And this helps you to identify where are the areas that you need to put more emphasis on to move forward. So then we talk about the digital blueprint, right? Our digital transformation roadmap, how to build it more cost effectively, right? And more strategically based on your industry use cases and based on your industry sector as well. So the first step we always say is about leadership buy-in and commitment. That's why the Productivity 1010 is focused on business owners, because leadership buy-in and commitment is very, very important, right? You set goals, you prioritize certain funding for your people, and to build lighthouses. Lighthouses would mean that you are actually building, beacons of projects within your factory to create a culture of digital transformation. Help them understand that this transformation is not meant to reduce manpower. It's not meant to shave off manpower, but it's meant to improve productivity in overall. Then you talk about talent development. You need to appoint a team. You develop your internal Industry 4.0 ambassadors. You build domain expertise, within your factory, because eventually when you look into predictive analytics, it's no longer about plug and play solutions. It's really about your domain expert within your factory. And then we talk about continuous improvement. So it's a year by year continuous improvement, upgrades, then you have full control about your whole entire operations, and then you can actually scale up more organically and more sustainably. So then how does SHRDC then support you in this roadmap, or developing this roadmap based on your digital transformation strategies from this Productivity 1010, right? We go very much on the integration-based concept. So the components of the Productivity 1010, when we talk about vertical integration, horizontal integration, this is actually part of the smart factory concept, in which we really focus on the entire shop floor integration, vertical integration, and digital continuity. We really emphasize on this concept of multi-vendor approach, open communication, open collaboration, approach to rapid prototyping and reducing the time to deploy. Hence, whatever dashboards that you see earlier on in my slides when I showed you, it's all developed in-house. And at the same time, what we do is we package it as a program so that you can actually understand how to build it on your own and to scale up on your own. So we actually help industries to actually understand even further from the digital roadmap, where is your data automation maturity, right? Are you at level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, or level 5? So most industries, aspire to be level 5, which is very, very good. But most of them forget that, data automation is not there. So data generation is out. Therefore, you can't achieve level 2, 3, 4. And it's very difficult for you to move to level 5 because, data cannot be operator dependent. It cannot be sampled at the wrong or various frequencies. It needs to be, proper volume, proper variety, proper frequency of data coming in. So all these are important information for you to take note. And this is where we are able to guide you through this journey as well. And as I shared earlier, all our developments are packaged like programs. So if you see the dashboards earlier that I showed you, you can actually take any of our programs here from level 1 to level 5, and you can achieve what you have seen earlier, right? It's very flexible, very modular, and that's like your next step. After your Productivity 1010 journey, you can start to build your roadmaps, start to build your talent development strategies, and this is where we are able to support you. So we help companies to go deep dive even further, to look at the topology, right? Sometimes it can be overwhelming, right? Your digital transformation journey can be overwhelming. And what we do is we show you a roadmap, okay, so this program, for example, like data generation, you want to collect data from old machines or legacy machines that you have no access to the PLC, that's the program for you. If your PLC has access, you have full access of it, then, please do try IoT Gateway, right? Get data from it, start to store your data, visualize it from machine data logging, start to look at OEE, calculating it, and then next move to analytics. So all these are a journey. It's a step-by-step, right? We don't lump everything into one program. We show you in a step-by-step level, how you can scale up, how you can walk through this roadmap, and we'll go through it together with you. So just to share that this is basically a success story. We have done it with some industries, although they did not participate in the Productivity 1010, but basically they have achieved, from talent development to help them to digital transformation, and they have achieved what I shared with you earlier. They identify a Kickstarter project. It's the same framework. They have a team. They identify the programs that they want to take, what they want to achieve. They do a project, Kickstarter project, they can collect data from their legacy machines, the project is completed, they can scale up on their own. So because they have ownership over their own programs or the software, they can just copy and paste and just duplicate and replicate for all. So this is one of the strategies or one of the cost-effective methods that we can support industries post Productivity 1010, or even if you are already completed it, we can support it, or even before it as well. So this is just a summary of what we do at the Smart Factory. We do tech talent development. We are a tech learning platform where we have a model factory. Unfortunately, we can't bring you there now at the moment. But on our YouTube, you can see a video of our Smart Factory if you would like. That gives you a sort of virtual tour. We do proof of concept Lighthouse. Now, I will emphasize Lighthouse as a very, very important key term here, because our internal team actually does a lot of internal Lighthouse projects. And that is based on a lot of industry problem statements that we have gathered over the industries that we have visited and talked to. We build the Lighthouse and then we build the programs for you. So that's the idea of how we help industries to really grow more sustainably in terms of digital transformation. You know, we do live demonstration. There's a model factory that we have. You can see how technologies are integrated, and eventually we are trying to go digital as well. So here's a brief framework or a roadmap how we can support industries in terms of digital transformation. For companies who wish to embark on their journey, you know, it's not too late. It's really, really open for you to try it now. Do participate in the Productivity 1010 program with us. We are appointed mentors. We can really support you through. Companies who have completed the 1010 program, you can have a discussion with us based on the results that are given from your mentors. If it's related to talent development, we are more than happy to support you through. You know, we have a range of programs. We have a range of digital transformation roadmaps for industries who want to go with it through talent development. We can try to support you from there. And for companies who have actually completed their readiness assessment, you know, I believe you have understood all the comments from your assessors. You know, you can come and have a chat with us. You know, take a look at the people part of your RA. You know, if it's something that we can support you, we are more than happy to do that. And most of the digital transformation journey, we understand from many industries based on their problem statements. It mostly starts from level 1, which is data acquisition. So it is something that we can try to package a program for you, and then you can slowly scale up from there. We will match the programs based on your RA if you allow us to review. And of course, you know, we help you to draw that kind of topology roadmaps to see what kind of programs fit well for you. And HRDF just recently launched this really good initiative called Rise Forward. You know, and this is mainly for SMEs to apply to actually skill up their staff towards their digital transformation journey. So I would really encourage SMEs who have finished their readiness assessment to really undertake this program. It is a really good training grant provided for the SMEs, and the information is on this slide here. The deadline is up to 30th November, so you can get in touch with us. We can help you to match programs, and we will try to support you all the way through. So before I end my session, you know, just want to share that keep in touch with us, get in touch with us in terms of a digital transformation journey. We are more than happy to support you. Kickstart your Productivity 1010 journey for those who have not. You can just register with MPC. You can let us know. We will help you to register, do a self-diagnostic, and then decide whether you want to go through that virtual mentoring journey. Otherwise, we are more than happy to support you through our programs. So do get in touch with us. We have a lot of webinar sessions ongoing to really support you through this journey. So with that, that's all I have to share today.
Thank you, Dr. Chua. Thank you, Dr. Maslina. Now I'd like to hand over the session to my colleague Eileen for the Q&A session. And if you do have any other questions, you can post them in the Q&A box or in the chat box. And now to Eileen, thank you.
Thank you both presenters for your input. I'm going to get started with the questions. First one posted in the Q&A box by Mr. So. First question he has is the Productivity 1010 and the self-diagnostic for manufacturing industries only? So maybe we answer that question first. Is it only for manufacturing industry, Dr. Maslina?
Actually, they developed the questionnaire is meant to the manufacturing companies. So maybe some of the information, some of the question is not really related with the services sector. So I wonder if they can fit to the services as well. But it's okay. This is no charges for you to try to assess your own companies. You can also try to assess to use that one and then apa
The tool.
QR code and then you can see your result as well.
Okay, because he's described that he's from the service industry, MMC oil and gas. So yes, I think that's we encourage everybody to try. All right, thank you for that question. Now there is also a question from Ms. Adeline Go at the chat box. How much does it cost to implement Productivity 1010 program, Dr. Maslina?
Actually, this is the government. Okay. Actually, there is no cost for the companies. So we pay for the mentors with the minimal fee for their, actually this is the national service. We call it as national service. We thank very much for the mentor because in order to get 1 hour session with the expert is sometimes it's very costly, right? But this one we managed to get their punya cooperation in order to provide, to share the expertise and also the technology with the companies. This is a very much, MPC is very much appreciated on this initiative because we get the support from both parties lah, especially for SHRDC, from the association that willing to help us together to improve the industry of Malaysia industry.
All right, thank you for that. So ladies and gentlemen, kindly take note that Productivity 1010 is free of charge. And once you complete the self-diagnostic tool, I think the assignment will take place where you will be then directed to your mentor. Now, the follow-up question from me before I address 2 more questions in the Q&A box with regards to this is, do companies get to choose which mentor they would like to go with, or is it assigned randomly? How does the process work, Dr. Maslina?
Okay, if you have your preferred mentor, so you can also appoint to us, but we have a list. You can appoint from our list lah. So if you would like to have Dr. Chua, so you just give the name to Dr. Chua and then Dr. Chua will communicate with us, which if the companies who want yang ada intention to have the mentoring session with Dr. Chua.
I see. So the list will have the mentor's details, including contact details, yeah? Dr. Maslina, you're muted.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right. Back to the Q&A. Anonymous attendee. And this person is asking, what is the difference between Productivity 1010 and I presume in this case, the Industry Forward RA, Readiness Assessment Initiative or activity?
Okay, this is the most famous question lah posted to us. So actually this is we don't want to compete with our RA. We complement. Actually, it's the complement because most of the companies are them is very macam not selected to be participate in RA. You can come abroad. You can come to join us. If you have you can also apa orang kata enroll both as well. But the difference is our program is meant for everyone. So we want to try, but the time consumed is very minimal, and then no cost. But we try to help. The most important thing that our outcome, we want to produce the digital blueprint to the companies to start their journey.
Okay, thank you for that. Another question in the Q&A box from Jeffrey Bock. He's asking, how will this benefit the service industry, especially those who are from the HR consulting line? I suppose it's for Dr. Maslina as well.
Oh.
Dr. Maslina, you're muted again. Just hold on a bit, ladies and gentlemen. She's muted and I think she has a bit of a technical issue. Yeah. All right, maybe what we can do is to get Dr. Chua. Oh, no, she's back on. Okay.
Maybe I don't have to unmute myself lah.
Yes.
I can.
Yes.
Okay. So pardon me, the question please.
Okay.
Can you repeat?
It's a question from Mr. Jeffrey Bog, who's asking, how will this benefit the service industry, especially those who are from the HR consulting line?
Oh, for the service industry, yeah.
Yes.
Because we do have also many. It's not for the productivity 1010 itself. Because MPC as well, we also provide many programs. We do have the other nexus related to tourism, related to retail, to introduce the such program like this mentoring session. But the focus may be different. So if you want like the HR companies, yeah, you are is not in under the manufacturing companies, but you still want to engage with this. Maybe we will also look into it lah, because when I spoke to our management on this one, because we receive as well many requests from the others. So we try to have similar program with the companies, services companies. So maybe they also have should engage with the MDEC as well. They also have a very similar program related to digitization journey, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Dr. Chua, do you have something to say?
I think for services industry, it really depends on what you intend to achieve in terms of productivity. In terms of digitalization, I would say that most services line would want to look at, for example, if you're talking about sales, you want to see what's your lead generation optimization. You want to see your performance of generating leads to sales. You want to look at some predictive analytics with regards to all these things are there. In terms of HR, you can really look at your entire resource planning, right? Or consultancy. You can look at ways to digitize certain operations, or maybe you can think about robotic process automations. So those are things that would probably relate more to the services industry. But of course, we need to understand your process further before we can comment which areas you can improve on. Yeah, so those are the things where we believe matrices like this, the assessments like this would probably help. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Chua. Thank you, Dr. Mazlina. If I may add, last week, SHRDC hosted a webinar on ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, and it is an overview on what it can do to improve efficiency for your business. So Jeffrey, I encourage you to go to our website and look under the webinar pages. We have information, or rather we have a recording of that webinar that may shed some light on your questions as well in terms of perhaps implementing ERP for your HR consultancy organization. All right. We've got one more question in the Q&A box from Mr. Wong. He's asking, can MNCs participate in Productivity 1010? Start with Dr. Mazlina first. MNCs, can they join?
Okay, of course we give the priority to the local Malaysian, but we do welcome you to join as well too. Maybe from your best, we can share you can also share your best practices. It benefit both actually.
All right, okay. Okay, Mr. Wong, I hope that answers your question. Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? Please feel free to put it in the Q&A box. And also you can post your comments as well in either the Q&A box or your chat box. Dr. Mazlina, while we wait for more questions, if there's any, is there a limited number of companies that are allowed to join the program? Have you got a quota, or this is open?
Not yet, because we just launched our program before the Merdeka, So we expected to provide our services to 1,000 companies. So there are a lot of opportunities there until the end of the day. End of the year.
Oh, okay. So this is open until end of 2020?
Yeah, perhaps if the receive a very welcoming response from the companies, we will extend it in the next year programs as well.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, do take note. You have a few months more to participate. So I recommend that you get onto the MPC website for more information and do your self-diagnostic. I've got another question now in the Q&A box from anonymous attendee. With reference to the recently announced budget 2021, MOF has allocated certain budget for MDEC. Now, for those companies which participated in this Productivity 1010, can they also join the MDEC grants? I assume this is the question.
Yeah, I think, of course, yes, because recently we also promoted our program to MDEC. So MDEC already know that this is the very good program. So perhaps they can include some of our blueprint of the result can be used for the participant in applying that both that grants lah.
I see.
We hope for the best.
Okay, so there is no sort of limited criteria whatsoever. Any companies are encouraged to join and apply for both initiatives, yeah? Okay, I hope I answered that question. Ladies and gentlemen, any more questions? We have a bit of time left and we encourage you to ask as many questions as possible. And meanwhile, I have a question for Dr. Chua. Chua, perhaps you can shed some light for the audience today on how do you think training can help company to kickstart their 4.0 journey?
Yep. So basically, like what I shared earlier in terms of the Productivity 1010 initiative, and also even for the RA, if you have actually done yours, basically what are provided in the reports are basically, what is your current state, of your manufacturing operations, understanding where you are, and of course, providing recommendations. So of course, recommendations within your RA are meant to solve certain, key areas where you want to explore, first to really, to get the low-hanging fruits, achieved first. So what we can do at SHRDC is generally, if you want to talk about data collection, it's something that, you can actually learn to do, right? Whatever dashboards that you see earlier, whatever programs that we do are actually tailor-made to support your digitalization journey. It's based on industry problem statements that are out there that we have properly understood, and then we curate the programs. So these programs are meant for you to learn, and then you can straight away start your journey. So this helps you to actually do your data collection, storage, visualization, and even analytics at a very cost-effective way. And not only are you able to apply the technologies in your factory, you're actually building your domain expertise within your factory. Hence, ensuring very, very sustainable talents. You know your operations in and out. You know the software implementation in and out. And any issues at all, they are there to support you. So this helps to create more domain expertise in the future. It will really help you in the long run. So this is how we encourage industries to embark on talent development as a strategy towards digital transformation.
All right, thank you for that. So ladies and gentlemen, I believe that you have a clear idea in terms of what Productivity 1010 is all about and how SHRDC can help you should you be interested to embark on the journey through training. All right, thank you very much, both Dr. Chua and Dr. Mazlina.